Fireball.
Yeah, if anybody needs me for kids parties where I can play the big bad guy and hit them with foam swords, y'all just let me know. I'm here for you. I'm looking out for you and your children. Yeah, I mean, better than real swords, right? Probably.
They're not that painful.
You know what?
What?
You guys just finally reached the nirvana of understanding why I do what I do.
Yeah, I know. I've known. I worked with kids. I was a
don't have
preschool
to
teacher.
hear.
I get it. If you think that I didn't beat 75 children to their delight, then you don't know shit about me. Good afternoon or evening or morning if you're watching this later, everyone. Uh, and welcome to another DMing Hadley game. This one might end up being a little spicy. Everybody here is hot to trot. We missed, was it last week?
Yep.
We missed last week. Because I was having too much fun. I told you, bliss state, Xander. Just get on a plane already. You should have been on a plane. Should have booked a plane. You've been on it. Come on, back up. You don't even need a bag. Just come down. T-shirt and shorts will be fine. We'll go thrifting. Go thrifting down here. Anyway, everybody seems real hot to trot, so I'm really letting them quite literally chomp at the bit. You don't really need the shorts. You wouldn't be the only one walking around in, some bikini briefs barefoot out here, to be quite honest. Um, I do. So, nonetheless, just letting them, uh, uh, mhm. uh, but yeah, I guess we should. All right, fine. Who wants to play Dungeons and Dragons? Okay. All right. This is Assault on Ravenloft, Season 2, Episode... What did I say? 6? I think it's Episode 6. Is that right?
We've already played 6 of these. Are you serious?
This year.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I just went back and
maybe.
looked at my calendar. The first game of the year was on the 2nd. And then we played 1, 2, 3, 4 games in January.
Oh my god,
Excuse me,
February.
5. There were 5 games in January. 5 games in January. That's why it doesn't feel like it was so long, because it's just one month. I've titled this one, much to John's delight, I'm sure, A Stitch in Time. So we will have a chance to delve into that in a little bit here. I don't think I'm going to hold you guys up any longer. Is there any other bloviating I need to do? I feel like we got it all out. All
right. Penis?
I mean, if you got them. Penis if you got them. There really should be a Google if you're out there watching. If you do me the favor of creating a hotkey to just mute all, I'd delight. Wow, that's better. Wow, that actually does look a lot better. Okay, great. Someone touched my camera lens. I don't know who that could have been. Fine. Let's get it started. It's time for the round robin. Yeah, see, during the round robin, we like to do 4 distinct things. The first thing we do is introduce ourselves. The second thing we do is share with one another and the world our pronouns. The third thing we do is introduce our characters. And the fourth and final thing, and quite possibly the most important of them all, is to offer a vivid, aesthetic description of those characters so that they may live in each and every one of our brain holes. Because, you see, I like to vividly hallucinate with my friends on the internet for 2 to 3 hours at a time, 6 days a week, often multiple times per day. And today's no different. So, without further ado, John, would you take it away and show the folks at home how it's done?
See. I don't hate it, but I've seen worse. I'm John. Today I'll be playing Adeldrilda. I am he, him. She is she, her. Adeldrilda is an interesting creature. Roughly 5 feet tall. She wears mostly black. She has platinum blonde hair. She will frequently appear as a late 20s young woman. Sometimes you will find her appearing to be a 13-year-old girl, the age at which she perished from this earth and was raised. Eldrilda carries a black long sword and recently picked up a hooked short spear. And so if you do not find her in the front fighting with some chitinous black armor covering her extremities, you will see her in the back summoning all kinds of surlies and whirlies and harries and dairies and doing gnarly things with them to haunt your dreams. And that is Eldrilda.
It's magnificent. You also bring a lot of friends to the party. So we always get to meet more of Adele's friends along the way, which is very nice. Rob.
Hi, hello. I'm Rob Crowman. I go by he, him, and I'm gonna be playing Nolan Marek. Male, barren, human sorcerer monk. He was born on an island and abandoned by his mother. He accompanied his father and made his life at sea. From a young age, he embarked on multiple vessels with his father up until the point of his teenage years, where he embarked on his own in which to see more of the world. Life at sea, the lessons of his father gave him, and going through from port to port made him acquainted with many friends and people, eventually discovering his magical potential due to a strange encounter with sea beasts and a bronze dragon. He fell into the sea and it wasn't pleasant. After discovering his magical attitude, he made an effort to control it and try to learn. But the best he could hope for was to find a monastic temple that will taught him some discipline, and martial arts as well. Now, as a young adult, he travels to the seas and the world to meditate on the freedom of the seas and to witness more of the world. That's what he did when he joined the Mercenary Guild. And from there, the adventures turned, well, you could say he has had adventure and rivalries, lost an arm because of it, and now has a new metallic one. You could mostly expect to see him just dashing in and punching and kicking as hard as he can with explosive lightning, and his draconic heritage manifests in both in his own martial arts and in his spells. That's it.
Love it. All right, there, Xander. Go and get him. No, go and get. Listen, hey, no, go and take your time. Take your time. Make sure you get everybody evenly coated. You know what? I'm not messing with you. I'm not messing with you. I'm gonna dig mine out. I'm gonna do the same thing. It's not worth being chapped, y'all. No. Y'all gotta stay hydrated. You gotta get chapstick, and occasionally occasionally enough sun that you need just a little bit of sunscreen. Xander, how's that moneymaker?
Wait. What sunscreen?
You shut your whore mouth. Xander.
Hey, Xander, he, him pronouns playing Never Seen Clover Tonight. Your favorite little buxom holy woman who is now outed as a dirty Vecna lover. She is a Hexblood Ward origin, and she's also a Oathbreaker paladin. She's traveling with the party, currently on a quest to kill her dad, and I guess now have a fight to the death with Zero at the end.
It could happen.
She's usually wearing her little kind of sexual priestess robes, akin to this photo here. Um, golden turquoise bands kind of running the body, keeping it cinched, a nice little corset around the middle. We got to show off some cleavage.
Tits up.
I guess at the moment she doesn't have her eye covering. Normally she has like a nice pure white silk piece of cloth covering both eyes, though now exposed is a hollow socket with a glowing blue light in it and a small clockwork eye that seems to have multiple pupils that are constantly moving. You would normally not see her with it, but I believe she is still currently equipped with her flaming greatsword that comes out of an oddly
Agonized.
happy man to be stepped on.
Agonized mouth.
He likes it.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I'm not saying you can't delight in agony. I'm just saying that that's
Yeah.
what you're giving is the agony. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
happens to be having delight along with it.
Mhm.
That's true.
Oh, yes, you did give me a black rag for my eyes.
Good call. Good
Thank
call.
you. And that's Nersine.
Magnificent. Thanks, Sander. I miss you.
Get some art for
I
her.
want to hug you again. Same, John. Also same Jimbo. I've hugged neither Tiva nor Rob, but maybe we'll get around to it someday. Jimbo, take it away, bud.
Yeah, same. Would like the hugs. Those are great. So yeah, Jimbo is me. Me is use he, him pronouns. Nerisine via Xander is using a lying mouth. There's 3 options here at the end.
So far.
One is the fight to the death between Zero and Nerisine. 2 is Nerisine leaves Vecna. Or 3 is Zero leaves the Raven Queen.
They're all options.
They're all options, and they have their consequences. That wouldn't happen, but okay. So yeah, tonight I will be playing today to whenever. Hi.
Time is a flat circle and it's meaningless.
Right. Zero. Zero is an avatar of death. Zero stands exactly 5 feet tall. As mandated, Zero wears all black, a cloak and a pair of black knickerbockers held up by suspenders. They dislike wearing shoes of any kind or any other clothes. It is of importance to note the amulet of the Mistress of Darkness, the Raven Queen, that is embedded into their chest, and the skull that they wear as a mask, which looks like that of a shrunken Tarrasque. Black curls sneak out from here and there from under their hood and mask, and Zero's eyes are the darkness of an empty eternity. And this is the imagery that we have for Zero.
Magnificent. I love it. I love Zero. Speaking of characters I love, Ativa, take it away.
Zero be cute as fuck. That picture for them.
Yeah, yeah. Some people would call it gender. I don't.
Oh man. Hello, I am Ativa Panic. That's pronouns. Today I will be playing Svetlana. She uses she, her pronouns. She is a Dampier barbarian rogue blood hunter. Whose newly found rage will hopefully prove to be very useful once she figures out what the fuck's going on, because right now she's just kind of terrified. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work because of my internet, but I have been working on some art for Svetlana. It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
Looks like it's doing.
But yeah.
Love it.
That be Sveti so far. Shading is a really difficult thing. And yeah, so she's currently in like full mommy mode. She's been just like really sticking up for Narasine, and then really sticking up for Juan, who everyone thought was just, they could just beat the shit out of him for no reason. So, you know, let's see where this goes. I'm excited for Adele to be back because Sveti thinks that she's dead. So it should be fun. I'm excited.
We'll get there. And they can't. Shit, is that everybody? Wow, no? Shit. Oh, I see what you did there, Jim. It's good. No, I like it. I like it. I guess that just leaves me. DMing Hadley, he, him pronouns. Here for about 60% of your DMing needs. A reminder to all of you that last year, for Father's Day, I adopted every single one of you. You are all my children now. You can call me Dad. Hey, Adele.
Yeah.
What's up, girl?
Where's Adele been?
Oh, we're gonna find out right now. But first, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Well, if that ain't narratively interesting, that is a natural 1 for a 5.
Beautiful. Oh God, how fantastic! Thank you for that. It's a gift. It's a gift, an absolute gift. As you look out towards a stone giant, its face simply a vivisected piece of granite looking in through this awning and sprawling deck of stone. You see it retreat, and then you feel everything begin to crumble. Above and below you, you feel everything shift. There's no saving from this. And immediately you are struck by a large paving stone that fell from the story above you. And as you fall, we see your head bounce between two rocks, and your chitinous armor drop, and your scarred adult face with a look of shock. Is this really it? And then we see the little girl. And she is biting her bottom lip. And then we see you shift through that stone. And as you begin to think, is this thought, you think? You are met with abject darkness. You cannot see, you cannot touch, you cannot hear or feel. But you can and do think. Where does your mind go?
She hears the bobbing of an oar in the water, and the faintest scraping of a knife against wood, which is one of the earliest traumatic memories of her new life as she crawled ashore off of the boat she fled on, found herself alone, terrified, in the blackness.
Who was the first person she met after that?
A man and his friends who came drinking down the pier, drunkenly relieving themselves in the water, and then began to notice her in the moonlight, and they started to say things to her, approach her.
What did she do?
When they approached her, she was shivering in the cold water on her hair and on her face as they laughed and joked and tried to touch her. She tried to run, and one of them lurched forward and grabbed her and held her arms, pushed her down on the pier, and a voice in her head said, "The blade. Take the blade." And she turned to her right to see an old, dull fishing knife on the man's belt. She pulled it off and just began thrusting it uncontrollably, without skill, without thought at anything that moved, until her arms ran absolutely red with their blood.
Can I get a dexterity saving throw, please?
$16.
As you think about the tendrils of blood dripping off of your hands and the end of the knife, you feel yourself land hard. And you're going to take 3 points of damage as you land somewhat sprawled with a sharp point in your back. And can I get a perception check, please?
Sure. Real quick, from the last time I had touched this character sheet, I had full health. So
Okay.
from the events that just took place, sounds like should I have taken a lot more damage?
No. And there's a reason why.
Okay. That perception is a 6.
Okay. The space around you is filled with dust, and it is difficult to breathe. You were expecting, as you reach up, to feel a shattered cranium. And as you begin to look out, you feel that grit just grinding against your eyeballs. And as you begin to feel around, roll me a history or insight check.
So I'm going to use her knowledge from a past life, which is going to give me a 10 insight.
You're in a chair. If it weren't for the grit, you'd think it'd be a nice high-backed squishy chair, except for and you pull a chunk of stone that's lodged in the corner of it, poking into your back, and you reach back and you can feel blood where it's pierced through. And then you see through this dust a yellowy orange light spring to life and begin to wave through these dust particles with little glinting specks hanging in the air. What do you do?
She tries to rise to her feet from this chair and turn and look at this light.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
23.
As you step down, you feel a rock begin to roll under your foot and press yourself upward and sort of sweep your foot out and clear the way before you. And as you move slowly, Are you moving towards this light?
Is it above? It's up in the air.
It's not. It's down and about 20 or 30 feet away. And the longer you wait, the more you can sort of see the waves of light inside of this space.
Holding this back injury, she's coughing up blood as she limps towards it and looks, through this tear-streaked, bloody face towards this light. And what does she see?
As you move towards it and wait, you begin to see the dust settle, and you see a mantle. It is stone, wide, about 10 feet wide. A pretty sizable fire is built inside of it and is roaring with warmth and illuminating the room that you're in. And as you begin to look around, you see that this looks like a study. There's books on the flanking this hearth and a number of baubles covered in rocks, some of them broken and fall into the floor before you.
Do I have reason to believe that I have been transported from where I just was? Like, is this...
Roll me a wisdom check. Or insight. Okay. Insight check would also, yeah.
I'm going to use another knowledge from a past life die. And that's going to give me a 15.
Okay. You reach in, like, the air is still heavy with this silt and dust. And as you run it through your hands, it's very, very tangible. You can feel the warmth, lots of it, coming off of this roaring fire. You can see that there's swirls of this dust being carried up with the heat out of this room. It seems very real. And as you look around, you can start to see the ceiling looks like there's two big stone pillars crisscrossing and a number of large stones just sort of trapped in the bridges that they've created. You can see only the faintest bit of light, and it's hard to perceive with the fire so large beside you. It must be real if you fell into this room. And then you hear, and boy, I wish I had something to make sound effects with. You hear, it sounds like glass tinkling, like crystal. And then you hear the sound of a liquid pouring, and then stop, and then begin again, and then stop.
Her eyes narrow and she turns slowly to survey the whole room with her eye line.
Roll me a perception check, now with advantage.
That is a 19.
As you look across the room, we see these swirls of sparkling dust still hanging in the air, being drawn by this current and swirling. And as you narrow your eyes through that, you see a figure moving towards you. And as they get closer, they look no more illuminated than they were 10 feet away.
Her hand extends defensively.
As you extend your hand, do you have a weapon in your hand?
No, it's for like Eldritch Blast or something like that.
As you put your hand out, that shape becomes undeniably tangible as well, as it steps from the swirling dust and directly against the palm of your hand. And you see very quickly they have two beautiful cut crystal glasses with a light brown colored liquid. And you look up and you see a bespectacled individual. He has black round sunglasses on. He has faint gray skin that seems to be drawn but not taut. And he looks down and smiles with a gray, greasy grin. And he says, "Now is that any way to greet your master?" And he hands you one of these glasses.
And of course, I think out of pure shock and relief and just intense emotion, her hand would only slowly change to take the glass as her hand is shaking, and you can kind of see the liquid, turbulent, and you can see her shaking it, and you can hear it as tears run down her face, and instinctively, she, with this goblet in hand, she sort of takes a knee.
Yeah, before you can get down to your knee, you feel this cold, just icy grip. Gently uplift your cup and hand, interrupting your descent. And he reaches his glass up and sort of pulls you to your feet. And he says, now, there's no need for that. And he clinks the two glasses together. And he says, drink now, it is time for celebration. And he...
Without further questioning, she drinks it.
And he downs this glass as well. And it almost has a vitalizing effect on him as he sort of shimmers and stands a little bit taller. As he looks down to you, he pulls his glasses to the edge of his long nose, exposing his eyes, for which his name is derived. The crisscross sinewed stitches over those eyes peer at you all the way through you.
After sipping the glass, she says, "The task you have set before me has been more than worthy," and she wipes the blood from her mouth. Tell me, what are we celebrating?
He says, your compatriots, they are making their way towards the rift.
She straightens up and downs the rest of this glass, very very militaristic in her bearing suddenly, as you just see her stiffen and stand, and her hand goes to the hilt of her blade, and she says, "And you send me there. I'm ready to go."
He says, there's no need to rush. There are many along the way that you will destroy in my honor. He looks down at your glass, somewhat expectant.
At the glass?
Yeah. Did you
And
drink it all?
Have I emptied it?
It's up to you.
Okay, so nervously concerned, she has shown disrespect or something. She downs the rest of it.
You see just the faint edge of his lip turn up, and he reaches behind him, and you see a crystal decanter slowly move into his grip and begin to pour, now doubled what he poured before. and goes and lets go of the bottle, and it begins to drift away thoughtlessly into the finally settling dust of this study. And he says, he actually looks up. He says, "Your friends have not traveled far yet. You can still catch the boat." And he smiles. But there is animosity brewing between your compatriots.
She asks, "Does this concern us, or shall we simply use them to kill Strahd?"
Your willingness to do my bidding leaves me humbled. But a team divided will not last.
How am I to unite them, my lord?
No, you need not necessarily unite them. But whatever fallout may occur, it must be done quickly, and it must be definitive.
I will see it done, my lord, is all she says.
He looks down at you, and then back up at the roof above, or the sort of like crumbles above him, and he pushes his glasses back up high on his nose, and you can see past the edge of these opaque black glasses. His eyes squint at the edge, and he reaches upward. And as he does, you begin to see a small cylindrical object covered with dust. It's still falling off of it. And as it descends, you see it tumble end over end, and that dust fully depart from its surface as Stitch pulls it out of the air. And he says, "Our friend Leo drops this," and hands you a little scroll of parchment with ebony knobs about yay big on either end. He says, "Your return to your party should seem entirely above board. I'm sorry, but this is going to hurt." And then he smiles, and as he does, so do I. That's not so bad. You're gonna take
Where did the party last see Adele?
You're about to find out. You're gonna take 31
okay.
points of bludgeoning damage. You are stunned. You are restrained. You are wounded and will take ongoing damage. And can I get a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage, please?
That is an 8.
As you try to breathe, you can feel that you have a number of broken ribs from the sharp, stony point jabbed in, and your attempts to breathe are met with more tissue damage and excruciating pain. Your legs are pinned, and you think that one of them is probably broken, or your back might be broken because you can't feel it. Your ability to make any sound in the moment is stifled by the absolutely mind spiked sensation of most of your upper body being pinned and twisted in a real uncomfortable position. And
Do I now find myself underneath all this rubble?
oh yeah.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, there's the rub. Your head is pinned to the ground, and your recollection that it should be broken might have been an appropriate and insightful prognostication. And roll me a perception check, please.
I'm going to use another knowledge from past life die. And that gives me a 10.
You're not rolling hot tonight, are you?
No.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It makes sense. All you can really hear are like varying distances of destruction. You just hear crumbling and crashing and breaking. The stone that's in your ribs is now doing the work for you periodically and buzzing against your broken ribs.
She opens her mouth to yell as loudly as she can, but of course doesn't know how much of it comes out.
Yeah, I don't. I'll just say this. If Adele screams under a pile of rock and no one's around to hear it, does it make noise? And from our perspective, it does not. If nothing else, absolutely drowned out by the catastrophic wreckage happening around you. You can feel the ground, whatever structure still stands beneath you, vibrating, quaking with each of these resounding crashes. And then it begins to fade somewhat. You hear more rhythmic, consistent movements away from you more likely than not. They grow softer and quieter.
Can I try something?
Sure.
Just before she blacks out, as she hears this, she interprets this as the danger is leaving. I want to try to misty step 30 feet up.
Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage, please.
She's trying to get out of the rubble.
Sure.
Even if she doesn't know where she's going. That rolled a 14.
I think we see you flicker. And I roll me a perception check actually while you're flickering.
That's a 3. No, it's actually it's a 3.
It's a 3. Okay. You can take 16 points of ongoing damage as these rocks continue to crush against you.
Okay.
And
I can't do anything else.
it's understandable. It's a real fucking rough one. You said it was how much for your perception check again?
That was a 3.
Okay. Yeah, you don't even actually. I think what you see is that you go about 30 feet up, and it's just like there's just like still stones and shit.
So I actually did go 30 feet up, but it's just still.
You just sort of like part of as far as you could go. You just continue to see more rocks overhead. You can even hear them clinking and rolling. But there's between the injury to your rib and your realization that I'm not out of this even that way. is a 1-2 punch in the gut. And as you are stifled underneath this stone, roll me an insight or roll me an insight check, and then roll me a perception check, please.
11 insight. No, 15 insight.
Okay.
And 19 perception.
Okay. As you are laying there, you begin to see a greeny sort of aura through the little spaces in these rocks. And then you hear soft tumbling, and you can hear sounds like burdened breathing, laborious breathing. But it's faint. It's far enough away that it's hard for you to even shout out, and it's fucking insane. And as you sort of blink in and out of, you don't know how long you're conscious or not. From any given point, your ability to respire highly restricted. And as you look out, you hear voices, and you're not sure how long that exchange just went on. But what rouses you is the rumbling now. Sharp staccato, and like a freight train driving through stone ceaselessly. And as you fade in and out again, can I get an Arcana check, please?
Say 19.
You see that green light now, and it's clearer now that the dust is quite literally settled. And then you see a darkness sort of intercept it, causing a shadow vivisection of those two things. And you realize that greeny light, it came from Neresin. They were casting some sort of spell, a control spell. And then you hear another exchange of words, and your eyes blink and open. And can I get another Constitution saving throw, please?
With disadvantage or straight?
Just straight.
Say dirty 20.
Nice. You're going to take 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And you hear a voice inside your head say, "You can get up now."
Okay, so can I start trying to dig? Do my hands work?
Is that what you'd like to do? It's entirely up to you.
I'd like to try to focus on casting Mage Hand directly above me, and I'm sitting there concentrating on forming it in the air and making it make an arrow pointing down.
The rest of you hear Juwan go, "What the fuck is that?" And he is standing with all of you doing all of your bullshit on the deck. Stares past everybody and just immediately starts beelining towards the far side of the boat. He grabs the banister, looks down over the edge, realizing he shouldn't make the jump from about 15 feet up to the ground here, and he says, Why are you all standing around? And he starts to rush up towards the helm.
What?
And if anybody doesn't stop him,
I'm gonna run to the edge
he
as
is.
I'll
well.
run.
Joan, if
it's
someone,
already
if
he's turning. I
no, first of all,
I jump
I
off.
put no.
Do we need, wait? Real quick question: do we need to roll for initiative? Let's roll for initiative. Minus 5.
God damn
Yeah,
it.
no, that's good. No, it's good. It's good. It's fine. That's why initiative exists.
It's probably something good, right?
It's great. It's fine.
25.
All right, there we go. Nolan Mary.
Jeez Louise.
I
Who's
he's
next?
squishy.
Who's next?
Ooh, 24.
Okay.
Me.
18 to Adele, and I also used my second wind to recover 15.
Hot. Nice move. Sveti?
11.
11 for Sveti.
Would you say we've had like a short
No,
rest
0.
from the last time to eat?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not a fucking chance.
14.
14. We're gonna get to it at the same time.
Valid question, though.
Yes.
Super valid question.
All right, Nolan. You see, he's turning the ship. The ship is now turning. What do you do?
First of all, I commanded the ship to say to not let him, twist the helm. And also, I walk up to him and say, "What's happening, Joan?" And also,
cool. Roll me.
You don't.
Wait. We're going through a few things here. So we're gonna resolve them. As you try and control the ship, roll me a roll me an Arcana check, please.
To
You are shocked, but obviously we are not, by the fact that this ship is not doing what you want it to do. It seems to be doing what Juwan wants to do. A deep betrayal, I'm sure.
Oh no.
And he begins to swing back about 100 feet.
Excuse me.
He's not looking at you. You can shout at him, though, if you'd like to.
I told him that I will interpose him to first ask, first of all, what's happening, and 2, why are you piloting my ship without asking?
Are you fucking blind? And he points out from the helm, and as he does, he presses the ship forward, and it seems to move at a weird speed. It seems like it stops moving for just a second, and then like it almost snaps to its new location. You don't feel acceleration or deceleration, but you realize that you stopped moving. And he pushes past you physically.
I didn't agree to that.
And just begins barreling down the stairs. And he walks
Okay, I just
over.
grab him and tell him. I just grab him to tell me what's going on.
He punches you in the face. For
Excuse you.
hang on. For 7 points of damage. And roll me. And then he disengages and runs. And runs across the deck past the rest of you. And you see him move to the bow. And he starts cranking this wheel at the far end of the ship. And as it descends, you hear chain links, the staccato. And can I get a Constitution saving throw? Now again with disadvantage for Adele, please.
Why we even roll for initiative?
Because he rolled. You wanted to see what you wanted to do. That's
12.
You guys hear an audible scream, and you are going to take 11, 15, 22, 24 points of damage as you feel the rock that you are being pinned, one of the many, that you are being pinned by, sort of like pierce downward hard, and then begin to, it just sort of like pops past a number of ribs. It's a real bad feeling at first, but then you can breathe, and that feels much better than before. And Juwan looks back towards Noller and says, "You wanted to steer, choke, get pull."
You haven't said anything.
Are you stupid?
Yeah,
and he looks over the edge and points, and I think you have any amount of perception. And you see right down the bow, there is a hand waving and an arrow right below it, sort of going back and forth, being like right there. Move.
This must be Morgan Freeman.
Oh, shut up.
I forgot about Morgan Freeman.
I didn't. What do you do? Noller, it is technically still your turn. I guess.
You guess?
I guess. You want to resolve one more thing. If you want to move the boat, you still have movement left. How's that sound? Or you could chase after.
Where is even Johan going? I thought you said he stopped.
Yeah, he's at the far end of the boat. He's on the bow. He just weighed anchor.
The ship doesn't have an anchor.
It does. Why would it have an anchor? It's a ship.
Flies.
It
Like
also sits in the water. It's a boat. It just happens to also fly.
That was the best response. Just flies.
It's a boat. It's a boat. It looks like a boat, except for the ring that makes it do fly. It's also a boat. That's why we call it a boat. It's piano black. It's got.
I feel like sky ships still have anchors.
I call it a piano, but
it's a piano.
A piano boat.
It's a flying piano. Honestly, the black and the wood coloring does. I mean, it is very reminiscent of a piano. Okay then, Narasine, what are you going to do as you see this weird exchange and definitely out of character behavior by Juwan? He doesn't seem to care what any of you guys think. What do you do?
I look at Juwan with like a slight new amount of respect. Just like,
sure. Started at the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, you know. We'll see how long that lasts. I will go over. Do I see that arrow?
You can't be missed.
Cool. I'll go over and I guess I'll. How far away is it? I guess
it's at the end of the. It's literally at the end of the boat.
Great.
It's if you go to the end of the boat and then 5 feet or so, and then down.
I go.
Okay. What do you do once you look down over the pile of stones? This just mountainous, just sort of avalanche of stone from 2 tiers upward, running down.
So my push, drag, lift is 600. So can I just start like picking stones up and pulling them aside?
Yeah.
I do that.
Okay.
Just my tiny fingers literally just like break into the rock for grip as I just like lift it up.
Yeah.
Just
this is some straight up top bang pong shit right here.
Her dress does have like an open back design, and out of nowhere it's just like a JoJo level contour, and it's just like
magnificent. Roll me an athletics check, please.
15.
Not bad. A lot of these boulders are
Can
bigger.
I have given myself guidance beforehand?
No. But if you want to do that for what comes next, perhaps.
I do.
You can cast it now, I guess. Is it a bonus action?
I'll cast guidance.
Okay. No.
Oh, yes, cantrip master, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so bonus action.
Yeah, I think we see you as you start realizing that like most of the rocks you got to move are just a little bigger than that. You're like, all right, here we go. I think we see that eye begin to illuminate disturbingly. And Adele, hey, what's up, girl?
What do I hear? Do I hear anything yet?
You hear the clattering of chains, and you feel the stone moving. And it is only budged enough that you can now breathe. And you think you hear yourself still screaming in your head.
Yeah, I keep trying to make noise to get them to hear me.
It's working. Anything else you want to try and do?
No, I think she's just relieved and she's waiting to see light.
0.
Zero will they definitely did say that obviously that must be Morgan Freeman, since Juan is acting like this.
Yes. I imagine, yeah, I think we see him run past you. It must be Morgan Freeman. And as he like is letting down the last of the anchor and looks back, he goes, "No, it's Adele."
But Adele died.
Uh,
She was squished,
he looks out and he's
floating
like,
forward slowly.
and he looks, pointing. Then, who's casting that?
Morgan Freeman.
It's doing this. It's bouncing like in a Mario game.
He says, okay.
Walk over here and help me, girl.
Wait. Maybe it is Morgan Freeman that's casting it to help us find Adele.
What a weird way to intuition.
Nobody asked you. And he goes up to 0 and starts like trying to move you closer towards the bow. And then you just see a rock just get like hurled away. And you hear Narasine just
And then we'll go over the edge.
Okay. Are you floating over?
And we come down. Yeah,
Okay.
floating.
Yeah.
Kind of taking the time, and then get down and pick up like a small rock and toss it to the side. But she's dead, so
Tag her eyes.
squished. But isn't she squished over there? And then point to where the squished body.
Yeah, it's about 60 feet away. Down where this it looks like where you guys were standing was like protected by another just the fucking rock slide wasn't as significant, literally 30 feet away. But here you've just got stones from 2 or 3 different tiers, all still tumbling, some of them down this mountain. And Sveti, what do you do?
Well, the whole time I'm seeing all of this happen on the ship, I'm just like slowly walking to the bow of the ship to jump off.
Okay.
But I'm also like just staring at Joan intently and just like smiling, just like a crack of a dimple of smile at his new spiciness. I really am a big fan of this newfound spiciness. So if at any point walking to the bow of the ship, she passes him, she's just gonna like give him a very sly, approving smile and say, impressive. And then jump off the ship and help people
excellent.
remove rocks in any way that I can.
Beautiful. As you hop down, you see obviously Zero skipping stones, and you see Narasine struggling to pull, like, just really giving it all the guns that she's got, and can I get athletics checks with advantage from both of you, please?
Yay!
Athletics with advantage.
Yes, please.
I should really take
Couldn't I
proficiency
like
in that next time.
couldn't I try and do something way fancier to turn it into an acrobatics check?
19.
No,
Oh no.
Oh wait, I cast guidance on myself beforehand.
correct.
10.
Sweet.
22.
Yeah, Sveti, can I get a dexterity saving throw, please?
Absolutely. That I can do.
Okay.
27.
You see, as you're like, let me help you get that rock. All you see is just rock coming right at you, about the size of one that
And I'm just like,
giant threw. Yeah, and I think with the 27, I think we just see that, like, as it's flying towards you, and then we just see it like pass. You're still there. Like, we couldn't even get to see how much dexterity was involved in that because it was just
I just turned. I just, whoop. Oh, okay. All right.
and then you hear screaming, both of you. Uh-oh.
Found it.
Oh man. Like a childlike screaming or like a woman like
Shut up.
screaming?
That's a great question.
Well, I think we resolved that her adult facade was brought down by the level of injury. So it sounds like a childlike screaming, yes.
Ooh, I feel like a child screaming would 100% trigger Sveti. And you know, she's been having these like issues right now with getting triggered.
She retches.
So
No, that's perfect. Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll anything. I think that that's a great narrative choice. I'm going to go ahead and give you inspiration for it. And I
Oh, thanks.
would like a Constitution saving throw from you, please.
Okay. Oof, 8.
Excellent. Excellent. Wow, how perfect. We hear little bubbles. And then we hear a little girl wail. And as we hear these screams over this soft symphony of bubbling brews and gas burners and various steam hissing in the distance, the dripping of distilled liquids, all of it with this faint underpinning of screaming. Deep breath after deep breath. As we pan around this room, we see this alchemical setup, spectacular and sprawling ahead of us. We see huge glass cylinders filled with different colored briny liquids, from a luminescent green to a dark blue. and all sorts of colors in between. We pan further around this room, and we see Svetlana. Well, little Sveti.
Please.
And you are. What's your comfort item?
My comfort
Yeah,
item
your child.
as a child.
Yeah.
Um. She probably has a like really uh rudimentarily crocheted wolf plushie that's like made out of a sack, like crocheted with sack thread.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. It's a gift. We see your tiny hand clenched around its front leg. It's teeth with little pieces of felt stitched in place, and we can see that grayed burlap material strain beneath your grasp, and then we begin to see dense gray and black hairs tipped with the faintest edge of light gray begin to spring out of your hand. And then we see your wrist snap backwards, dropping that creature to the floor in here. And here your bones separate and then reset, elongated now as your elbow almost inverts and your shoulders set back. Your body is restrained by two thick leather lashings, and your ankles are secured independently. And as we follow this transformation upwards, we can see you twist and your face just snap as your jaw elongates and resets, and as you try to fight it, we see it crack open and shift forward. And when you bring your face back down, we see an almost canine like influence on your body. And can I get a perception check from you, please, as we hear the echoes of your screams begin to sound like a wolf howling into the distance.
A perception check.
Yes, please.
Yes, I have advantage on those. 19.
Beautiful. Beautiful. As you begin to look around this room, you see all the things that I've described. You see workbenches, you see all sorts of alchemical stuff. You see, as you look with these wolf eyes around the room, we see this sprawling image from one side around to the other. You are not the only person strapped to a table in here, and you and those people are in good company with a number of bestial looking creatures and individuals and hybrids as well. Many of them seem to be subdued on IV drips or some sort of like ventilator that seems to keep them at bay or keep them alive. And through the rushing of blood in your ears, you hear, "As like you've done it." And as you look out, you see dark hair, blue eyes, white shirt, red vest, standing, presenting himself as if he owns everything. And he is looking at a man who is wearing preternaturally clean clothes. He is wearing a uh, dark heathered gray coat that is longer than his knees. It's split just above the knees, and it buttons down to well below the waist. And he has pins in little pockets on one sleeve. And like a honest to god pocket protector with all sorts of little arcane implements. You see little crystals, and you see a candy thermometer. And he's holding a clipboard that he is eyeing, not paying attention to Strahd's encouragement. And he says, "She should not remember anything, but count yourself fortunate. She will certainly make a good move." And then we see you sort of fade into darkness. Um, and you've never remembered that memory before.
Weird.
Can I get a history check?
Yeah. So, am I like displaying any physical symptoms to everyone else while I'm having this flashback?
Let's find out in just a second.
Oh, I have advantage. That's nice. 19.
The name Haslin rings in your ears as if you were slapped in the face by it. And Zero, I do think that as you are looking for another small stone to remove from the pile, doing your part, you see Svetlana just sort of like zone out again for just like idle avatar for a moment, and then you see her sort of shake her head out of this brief stupor, and Svetlana, it starts coming back to you. Not what happened, but who Haslick is. He was referred to time and time again by Strahd in passing, not to you, but to others who might come and go as you shared your time together. He was a confidant of Strahd's, but was rarely seen in the castle. He was there once only briefly during a banquet, which you were the hostess of. It was a bit of your coronation, as it were. You saw him show up briefly and then depart after just a faint encounter conversing with Strahd. And he looks at you as he walks back towards you, bedecked in fine regalia. And he sort of looks dour as he says, Haslick won't be making it, unfortunately. But we have so many more guests to entertain. And as he gestures from this balcony, you can look down into the grand banquet hall in Castle Barovia. And it is absolutely packed with people who have done at least everything they can to show some semblance of wealth and respect. But even now, it's very apparent that people are having a hard go at it, even those with the greatest power. And as you look down, you see Haslick exit, and you recognize in your memory that black coat he was wearing now, putting two and two together.
Mm-hmm. And I all this is occurring to me while everyone else around me is like
Kicking
moving
rocks.
rocks.
Correct.
Picking rocks. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I'll think about that for a minute, I guess.
Sweet. Noller, what do you do?
Were the screams enough to more or less guess where they're coming from?
Yeah, right off the starboard bow.
I mean, in the sense that from where inside the rubble they are.
Roll. You'd have to get down there, and you'd have to do an investigation check.
Okay, I jump from off the ship and I get down there.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Can I convince you to use insight?
No.
17.
Yeah. As you see, Narasine grab another rock, and just like now she's starting to like show off. Now it's about form. Yeah, it's like when John could show you better than I could. When you grab a keg and you throw it up over a wall. It's like that now. Once this big one got out of the way, just clearing out rocks, just coming up out of the hole. Whoop, whoop. And you see Svetlana looking down into that pile, almost quarry of stone. And as Narasine grabs another boulder and you dexterously make your way into it's not that huge, but there's obviously a bunch of rock being moved out of here. You look down, listen through some rocks, and 15-20 feet down at this point.
Very well. If I know the exact position of where this is coming from, then some little feet to the side. We're gonna do this one more time.
Cool.
Erupting Earth.
Okay.
Everyone stand back, please.
No, it's too late for that.
Wait, what? I'm down here. What'd you
Yep.
say?
Nope. Yep. Can I get dexterity saving throws from everybody except for Adele?
It's I
18.
try to aim it to the people that are just to aim it
Let's
away from people
see.
or
Let's see.
whoever's
Well,
inside.
let's just see how everybody does.
14.
That can't be good. What's your save for erupting earth?
That should be let's misspell DC really, so it's 17.
17 children.
Barely made it. You're muted, Svet.
21.
Okay. Very good. Now what's the damage as you erupt the earth?
Okay, erupting earth does It is 3d12.
Okay. Let's see it.
I'll roll them.
You know that look that when you surprise someone by splashing them with a bucket of water?
Yes.
That's the look that's going to be on Zero's face.
21.
Okay, sweet. 21 points of damage. Those of you who failed the check. And half that to Sveti, I think.
My 18 made it.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Half what? What was the total
10.
number?
10.
21.
Oh, I was still a form of dreaded too. So that was all would scary me.
Hot. And Adele, you're going to take 21 points of damage as you feel the larger stones sort of protecting you all of a sudden just shatter, and then you just feel vonk, and are restrained again. And it is a absolutely terrifying sensation for just a moment.
Is it roots that have gripped me?
No, it is. If you took a bunch of rocks about yay big and then shattered them into rocks about this big, all of that sort of happened pretty quickly, and then it's not imperceptible how much of it is sort of like lifted from you as you try to breathe, and the rest of you see this. It would appropriately be called an eruption of Earth, as stones just come out of this, kicking rocks everywhere, but leaving a much deeper channel now of stone. And can I get a strength check from Adele, please?
And you hear a shriek as she comes up. That's a 12.
You hear a faint grunting as you see these stones start to settle. Some of them rolling back down into this little pit that's been created now. And Narasine, what do you do as half the rock you were holding just got broken into shreds and blasted away?
I'm not trapped under any of that newly cascaded rock. Okay, good. I guess keep going.
Okay.
I just look up and I'm like, can you not?
Fair.
I just fought him. I will fight you too, but can we do it later?
Fair.
I keep going down.
Sweet.
We didn't fight.
Yeah, it's just this is an argument, a discussion, really, more than anything else.
She takes that as he thought she was so easy that it wasn't considered a fight, just a one-handed whooping. So that's definitely another check on the list. Just another vein pops out on her head as she's like, just fucking frogs.
Roll me a Labrador check, please. Roll me a Labrador at the beach check.
23.
Great. You begin moving an inordinate amount of rock. As if swimming through stone. Your arms begin to spin, and we just see just a rooster's tail of stones kicking up like you were doing a burnout in a Trans Am on a dirt road in Georgia. Just coming around the side, y'all better watch out. And then you just see some of these rocks spray up onto the piano black lacquered bottom of the ship, and Juwan ducks for cover, and we start to see smoke burning up out of the pit, you swap one too many times and hear a grunt. As you look down, you see that you've uncovered most of Adele's face, and perhaps caused a little more road rash in the process. And they look like a kid.
Can I just reach in and
Roll me a strength check.
I'm trying to think if this group's actually seen her as a kid or not.
That's a natural one.
Okay.
You reach.
Specty is saying yes. Okay.
You reach down and pull, and Adele, this is the most painful part of the program you've experienced so far, as your bottom half is trapped underneath rocks, and Narasine leans forward and pulls you up into your ribs on a stone that is holding your legs down, and you feel those bones grind against one another. Yeah.
Oh, I stopped.
And as you
dumb bitch.
You see this frothy pink exhalation from Adele. It is running down the sides of her mouth. And roll me a medicine check, please, Neris.
You're right about that, Jimbo. Thanks for reminding me.
Could I? Do I still have my action? Can I just heal her?
That was your action.
Fuck. Medicine. Okay.
Did I take actual mechanical damage from that?
No.
Let's
Nope.
find
Nope. That's an 8. Nope.
it. You don't know what's wrong with her.
Oh no.
But it's not great. 6, 7, 8.
I will fix this.
15, 18, 21 points of piercing damage.
Oh my god.
And
she's still with us, but she's pretty fucked up.
You are suffocating.
Oh my god.
You see her.
Yep. And every exhalation is met with more of these pink bubbles.
I found her.
Adele, what do you do?
Can I move my arms, my legs?
You can move your arms. Yes.
I think instinctively she, hands go to her neck as bubbles come out.
No verbal components spells.
Right. Okay. You can see if I have any other spells. I do like the idea that she's just like flailing and like letting off Eldritch Blast randomly through the air. She's panicking.
I think Zero, Noller, the two of you are. What the? It's what happens when you drive a Trans Am, everybody. You get Eldritch powers.
Just don't make the rules,
I'm not in charge of these things. What do you think those rocks coming out from behind the car are? It's an Eldritch Blast. You have harnessed an 8-legged creature to direct their energy towards your foes and enemies. And it does 1d10 damage. What else do I need to say? Driving a Trans Am is like becoming a warlock.
Yeah, in that case, no. There are no healing spells I can find with no verbal components. So.
Fantastic. Zero. There's a girl in the hole.
Yep. So Zero is going to like the hearing of the screams, the recognizing that that's actually Adele and not something else, and suddenly thinking maybe that smear that we saw earlier wasn't Adele, but actually, what's that? It could have been Cleo, or it could have been the other undead.
No, it was Cleo. I'm letting you know.
I'm letting you know, Friendella. Yes, but Zero knows that it could have been Cleo or Friendella, and wanting to help as much as possible with life for Adele. At my 1/6 level spell slot, I am casting Life Transference, and
That's a good.
so I will take 78 necrotic damage and give 78 healing to Adele.
That's insane, and I love it.
33.
Cool.
So then they get back 66. 'Cause it's doubled, right?
30. Is it doubled? Or is the damage you take half?
Or am I thinking of a different one?
No, I think you're thinking like Vampires and Rain.
I know there's one where it's like I transfer
Drain-
life and I
drain
roll
life.
this much damage for myself.
Oh, yeah.
but then
It's
They
it's
get double
twice
of
the
it.
necrotic
Yeah.
damage you take. Yeah. So
Yep.
I take 33 and
They
you
get
get 66.
There you go.
Cool.
yeah.
That's why I like that one too. I
Yeah.
forgot.
That's awesome.
So is her injury healed, or is that going to require something different?
It is both comfortable and uncomfortable as your ribs begin to start to set. And you still feel your legs are pinned, but you feel your left, one of the legs in your lower left leg, one of the bones in your lower left leg, snap back in place, shifting the rock or rocks that are on your lower body, and you still have lungs full of liquid right now. But the ongoing damage is going to cease, and you feel far more robust, although you do still have 1 and probably 2/3 lungs full of frothy liquid.
She kicks her legs free of the rubble and laboringly stands up, with a hunched over posture.
Roll me a medicine or constitution saving throw or medicine check.
Okay. 16 medicine. Or
Okay.
16 con. Sorry, 16 con.
16
saving
con. As you try to stand up, your head gets really light and spinny. And as you start to collapse, you exhale this foam of blood and plasma, and it just plops onto these rocks and begins to drip down like sea foam. And with the second exhalation of this, you begin to breathe in, and it feels like the first time you've ever breathed at all. And there's a good reason for that. It's because your lungs were full of fluid once, and that makes good sense, because now they're not quite so much.
Awesome.
And Sveti, you see little Adele exhaling blood, and then come up out of those rocks covered with blood and dust and stone, and they're alive.
But they're not like pinned down anymore.
Nope, they're standing down right beside Narasine at the base of this pile. It is a significant cone down to the two of them.
Cool. So I think what we would see happen is that as like all that rock sprayed from Noller blowing up the ground, Svetlana totally like snapped out of the daze that she was in and immediately started to panic and was about to like do her rage thing and start just throwing rocks everywhere. But then when she sees Adele and Nirasine standing there, I think she would probably just start crying, which is weird, but I think that's what would happen. She would start crying. So she's just standing there like bawling her eyes out right now. She's probably not being very vocal about it, but she's just like staring at what is going on right now. Yeah,
Adele,
and
you're
would
going to
she
see
probably
that.
just
Narison, you're definitely going to see that
yeah.
from down there. Zero, you're actually closer to Svetlana on the outside of this this cone, closer to the ship. And we even see Juwan. His head pokes up over the edge of the boat, looking out with a little bit of shock and concern at Svetlana looking down into this pit.
Just like tears of blood running down her face.
Are you damaged too?
She looks over at Zero, and you can just kind of see the pain in her eyes by realizing that your question was really quite literal, but she's like realizing how much pain her soul is in. And she looks over at Adele, realizing that at this point there's not really much she can do to help her, and probably just like sulks back onto the ship.
Did anyone ever see the show Private Practice? Anybody? There's a spin-off from Grey's Anatomy. I think I saw the first episode of it because my dad watched it at the time. And there's a point where one of the doctors from, I guess, Seattle flies to LA and visits this place where she's going to be working private practice. And he is an acupuncturist. And he brings her into the room and he sets her down and he sets like 3, 4, 5, 6, and he says, "This one will unlock some emotions and help you relieve some stress there." And she's like shouting. She's talking about how bullshit acupuncture stuff is, and she's just like, "This is absolute hooey. There's no way any of this works." And he does the thing, and then as he's walking out, he says, "Yeah, it'll unlock your feelings." And she shouts, "I don't have any feelings." And then all of a sudden, you see her body sort of like relax, and she goes, "I don't have any fear," and then just starts like bawling. And I think that's the like that's all I could see was Svetlana with that like little third eye tapped and just being like, "Don't worry, they're nothing more than feelings." What do you do? We're gonna drop out of initiative, and I would like for y'all to tell me what happens next, please.
Was life transference a touch spell?
I'm not going to require it to be in this case.
Well, the only reason is it kind of makes the mechanics of this a little simpler. If Zero, how far from Adele is Zero?
He would be right there, but it's a 30-foot range spell, so.
She, laboringly like takes a step and she reaches slowly inside her jacket and pulls out this scroll, which of course Stitch gave her. But what did he say to her when he handed it to her, Hadley?
Your friend dropped, or our friend dropped this.
Okay, she's literally going to repeat that. Our friend dropped this. Because it's like the only thing she can think of to say without saying she ran into Stitch, and she's going to keep that secret. And her hand extends towards Zero. So she offers it to him.
And I think Zero, like, it's kind of turning from the question that they questioned Svetlana and feeling like a little sad about the rejection for an answer. Turns back over and sees Adele offering something to Zero, and if their face wasn't covered with a mask, you would see like an expression that their body is going to show, but like someone is accepting Zero as a part of the team, maybe, and kind of like then thinks about when Narasine also offered the coins, and we see a smile on Zero's face as they reach out and grab the scroll. Thank you. Do I read it now?
I don't know what it says, she says.
I never use scrolls, so
Does anyone here use spell scrolls?
I mean, technically any caster can.
yeah. Zero will open it up to see what it is, to investigate it.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
Technically none, but any languages that are of the people that brought the Avatar of Death into being, like
Okay.
via
cool.
summoned
Nope,
kind of deal.
Great. Love it. That
I reach
actually
out.
makes sense because as you unfurl this, it's just like parchment. Usually by now there's a word on a scroll, and as you hold those two knobs and sort of allow this to spin between your fingers and unfurl it, it comes out to about 14 inches long. And as you look at it, the parchment doesn't have a word on it at first. And then you begin to see this sort of wash. Um, it looks like that old Windows screensaver where the pipes would all grow and just change and overlap and twist and turn amongst one another. It sort of does that from one side to the other. And as you look at it, you see a word illuminate in gold, as if there was gold foil on the page, and then turn dark. And in Celestial, it says maze.
Maze, M-A-Z-E.
M-A-Z-E.
Huh. Well, this is almost like a riddle, maybe. I don't know what this means. Should I roll an Arcana check to
I
try to
reach my
see if
hand
I?
out.
Yeah. Let's start with the Arcana check and then let's resolve that. I like that.
Oh, I got a nat 20, so that's 21.
Yeah, as those letters sort of shrink back into the parchment, you realize this is a very powerful spell scroll. And for mechanics purposes, Maze is an 8th level spell. And you know what it does.
Bang. Okay.
Banished creature seen
Cool.
within range to a labyrinthine demiplane. Target remains there for duration or until it escapes. Target uses action to attempt to escape. When it does so, makes an intelligence check. Succeeds, escape, spell ends. What is a Goristro demon? Wow, I only thought Minotaurs could get out without a check. When the spell ends, target reappears to its space or nearest amount.
Okay. Once Zero realizes that, they start scrolling it back up.
Yep.
Adele, are you sure you are handing this to me for? And kind of glances over at Nersine too before saying what it is.
She doesn't answer you. She just like, it's like the end of an action movie where like, you know, John McClane is like 6 broken ribs and everything, and somebody says something to him, he just like turns around and just like starts limping away from the scene. As the camera pans back, that's what we see. She's just like, I am done answering questions and thinking right now. I'm going back to the ship.
Breathing is still a very difficult thing for you to do. Roll me a Constitution saving throw again as you're making your way.
21.
Yeah, you power through. I think we see you just like blow some gobs of this out as you make your way back to the ship. And
Do you need any help getting up?
She looks like she has space COVID. Do I need help getting up?
You actually, as you look up towards the ship, it's only about 12 feet off the rocks, where this anchor has scraped across this boulder, removed it from your body. And as you look up that chain, you can see that Jawan is standing up top, and Miller, as you offer assistance, he too says, just grab a hold of the chain. I'll reel you up.
Okay, she does. She stands on the chain and holds on.
We see him cranking, clicking, ting, 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 as this staccato rings through this space. And as you, still holding your ribs, make your way up, he grabs your wrist, and in your adolescent form, you're light enough for him to simply pull up and then sort of scoop up under you and set you down onto the deck. And he looks at you and he goes, "You were an adult when I saw you last."
She's like coughing up blood. You'll get used to it.
Let's see if he's gonna get used to it. Well, he rolled a natural 20. I think he just stands up and looks back towards the party. Yeah.
And as he does, I think
will.
Ophelia, her cat, sneaks between his legs.
Nice.
A little black cat.
Yeah,
Nice to see her.
He says, "I should get used to stuff like that, I think." I want to cut scene here. With everyone back on the ship, we are going to start with everyone back on the ship. Why? You guys can wrestle with yourselves. You, Noller, are welcome to retake the helm. It seems Juwan was only interested in saving Adele and not overriding your authority. Narasine and Zero are... Have you guys gone to separate corners to sit this out? Are you trying to figure out whether this can be resolved or not?
As far as she's concerned, she's just not letting him stand behind her at any point.
Sure.
So she's just not letting him. So no matter, she will just like go to lengths to just kind of be along the edge and just kind of
keep at arm's
generally
length
just-
and then some.
just like always kind of ready to.
It's like me socially distancing from anyone. Nope.
And I think from Zero's point of view, everything has been resolved via words for now. We have a set time when we will actually pick this back up. So all of this is completely oblivious to Zero. They're now in partnership, working together, and will ignore, probably obliviously ignoring this whole like Nerisine won't let Zero behind her.
Sure. That sounds in character. How then are you spending your time, Zero?
I think that Zero has to take some time to pray to the Raven Queen, and then maybe going around to see if other people need more healing,
Okay.
and working through giving everyone some magic healing.
Yeah. Who does need besides Dell? Does anyone? I don't know where people were at by way of hit points.
I'll heal myself. Do we get a short rest?
Not yet.
Damn it.
Do we have to give a number or?
And I don't care if anybody doesn't. I mean, this might sound like a lie, and it might be. But you are at least approaching long rest territory. But currently,
That sounds like a lie.
You have not had enough downtime for a short rest. So everybody's got back on the boat. Y'all are probably headed in some direction, yonder ways. But it is still the fallout of this. Like we see the ship rising up out of the citadel at Gardazi, and see the last of these rocks tumbling down the hill, crashing into this ruined city. So you got a little while before any short rests are going to happen. But I want to know what you're doing immediately afterwards. Anybody can jump in. You can take initiative even.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Crow.
No, you go first.
All right. So I think that during this time, Sveti is like digging through her mind now with like this new flashback and learning this new name. Was it Haslick?
Yes.
That was the name? Okay. She's gonna be like
Of Haslin.
searching
Is it, of
Haslin?
It is Haslick of Haslin.
Oh, Haslick of Haslin. She's gonna be like digging through her thoughts, as well as if I don't know if she would like. No, coming into the mist, I don't think she would like have any of her books with her or anything.
One or two, maybe.
Unless she collected them. Yeah, unless she like collected them while like trying to prepare to fight Strahd. But she would be investigating as much as she can, even if it's just within her own mind, of like who this person is and if they're still alive, and if they are still alive, if they would be a person that would like be an ally to them in trying to defeat Strahd, or if this could possibly be like one of Strahd's lackeys that we'll eventually be running into on our way to trying to defeat him.
All right, I'm gonna have you make a few checks for me here. The first check, is going to be a history check.
Yeah, makes sense. advantage on history. First one 16, second one 5.
$16 and 5.
Da, with advantage.
Okay. As you start to go back into this space, this seemingly blocked off region of your mind, you know, at the haunted house, when you pull the door and as soon as the little tension breaks, there's a screaming sound. As you unlock this door to your mind, you are met with these shrieks of horror. And your psyche, you can feel your mind cowering as you try and tap into this. And what does it look like as you're doing this? Are you sitting? Are you postulating? Are you pondering the orb? Are you
I'm probably pacing in my room.
okay?
Holding a pillow as if it were Rasputin. No, holding my egg as if it
Got
were
it.
Rasputin.
Excellent.
And yeah, and then yeah, pacing the room, and as that happens, would probably like fall down to my knees, like, and have the egg resting like in my arms but on the bed.
Okay.
And like just tears streaming.
As you rest your forehead against the scales of this egg, you can feel its magical warmth. And as you rest your forehead against it, you are immediately met, instead of screams, you are met with images, and there's a din of voices overlapping, and as you feel this wash of experience and information over you, you recall a couple of things. You've seen Haslin only a few times, but you recall that Haslick a few times. But you recall that Haslin is it is reported to be a horrifying place. No one that goes there comes back the same. And those who come back don't tend to stick around long. And it is sort of an unspoken rule in Barovia that no one talks about the horrifying things that happen after they come back. And people who do, and then are never heard from again, they're treated as nameless individuals. No one speaks their name. No one talks about them. You remember my old friend Johnny? No one says that. Those people cease to exist in the annals of history in Barovia. And you recall at least two individuals, including an older brother, who were sent there. And when one did not come back, your brother did only briefly. And he was a very angry individual. You were young, you were like 3 or 4 years old. It was difficult for you to understand why that person was so angry. But nobody talked about him ever again.
Was his name Bruno?
Maybe.
Perfect.
He wouldn't get that jokes, buddy. He hasn't seen the movie.
I know, but it's okay. The seed is planted because then when he does, he'll be like, ah,
I know we don't talk about humor. I get it. I understand. I'm a victim of the memes.
It's yeah. I was gonna say it's not like it's any movie secret. There's no spoiler etiquette around this movie anymore. Okay. Does that answer my like insighty type question though? Like if this person would be probably a threat we're gonna meet along the way or someone who we should seek out for help?
Yeah, you don't want his help. You don't want his kind of help at all. And with what memories you've been able to stitch together, you think that he might not be what you have to deal with right away. And then I think we see you look at this egg again and stand up, and there is a small polished piece of tin on the wall that serves as a mirror, and we see this sort of slightly warped image of Svetlana as you realize that you were one of whatever this guy makes.
Like I've been to Haslin then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrestle with that for a little bit.
Did my egg move at all? Is there
No.
anything going on with my egg?
No.
Okay.
Not that you're aware of. Narasine, what do you do?
I think I'm gonna take some time. Are there books on this ship?
Roll
is this
me
a
an investigation. Roll me an investigation check.
Not very smart.
If you had some books, you would be.
But I got a nat fucking 20 minus 119.
Okay, what are you looking for?
Books on the Raven Queen. From her view, she's been caught ass out one time, and she's gonna make damn well sure next time goes very differently.
Okay.
Prep time begins now. It was one-sided before; it'll be one-sided again. She's basically just hunkering down and is starting to research. Like she's like, okay, I got whapped by Zero, but like Strahd's gonna be stronger than Zero, so I need to do more on Strahd, and I need to figure out who the fuck this Raven bitch is, and then she's basically going to start like info dump collecting and like searching for like old weaknesses, going through old parchments. She can use comprehend languages, so language doesn't matter.
I have a gift for you. As you enter your cabin, you back into the room, making sure that Zero's down the hall on the other side. And as you close the door, you smell the faint aroma of beeswax candles being burned. Well, as you whip around, this room's not how you left it at all. Which is what it says on a lot of the books that line the walls of this space, like a small, densely packed library. And you see a book stand with a large book already sprawled open on it, and a desk, a nicer one than was in this room for sure. And there's parchment and ink and quills, and it is as if you just walked into a scholar's chambers.
Is my bed still there?
It is. It's to your right.
Oh, okay, so it's just like I got an upgrade for well,
Yeah, the space between
I'm like,
between the bed and the wall on one side is now just rife with books, and on the back there's shelves, and to your left the whole wall is just completely where there was an armoire and more space. There's just a now built-in stack of books, and you see a faint green illumination uh, just drag one page over in this very large tome in front of you.
what surprise! Somebody around here appreciates me. Go down. I pat the wooden floor. Good girl. I go over towards the tome.
Okay. As you make your way towards the tome, you see that it is bookmarked with a
I get a stool
single
and I stand on it.
black feather.
I'm looking at this feather, and I'm like, this is very confusing for me. I look down at the book, holding the feather. Like,
Yeah, as you look down, what languages do you speak?
I cast comprehend languages.
No, what languages do you speak?
Oh, okay. Abyssal, Celestial, Common, and Sylvan.
Okay. This book is in Celestial. And as you look at it, you start to see a pretty clear history of the Raven Queen. You can tell it's of the Raven Queen because there's the page on the left that this was just turned to is very intricately illuminated. The border of this book is a very, very intricately scrolled gold leaf pattern that goes all the way around the writing, and the text itself, as you look at it, is so distinct and perfect. You can see each individual pen stroke on the page, and it says the Raven Queen across the top of the T, just like out of control.
She shudders a little bit.
Yeah, as
Roll back.
good.
She's going to step away. Full sprint back to the door. We're putting like, she probably had like maybe 2 or 3 locks on it before. We're putting in some like extra boards. We're like boarding this door up from the inside.
I
so
cast
that nobody.
manifest locks.
Yeah, we're just blocking this door off. Once
You
she started-
open a forge, you start hammering iron and putting pins in locks, and big honking locks still smoldering hot.
She kicks her shoes off. She's basically just undoing her full everything. She gets completely down to her underwear, goes back to her stuff, rummages through for an old, seemingly almost now unused pair of round, thick glasses and a very big, comfy sweater that she's gonna have to like kind of flap some dust out of. And in this moment, she's going to become who she used to be, which was just a very nerdy, small girl who spent most of her time being mousy in libraries. And she's going to feel a happiness she hasn't known in probably years. I don't even know how long it's been since, God, she first started the journey, got to the guild, left the guild to here. And she's not even really realizing that she doesn't need the glasses anymore. It's part of the set of rules she had to follow in the past to like set up her little comfy zone with books. And then she would just pick up the tome, lie it on the floor, lie down with the tome, and start just reading.
As you dig in, I'm going to make this as easy as a person make it, and give you the link. With probably rare exception, you're welcome to introduce aspects of that history as you see fit. Similarly, Jimbo, obviously, whatever you feel compelled to include, you are welcome to introduce to the story itself. I am not going to hold every word on that page canon, and neither should you. So feel free to draw from that what you would like. And I think we see not just this tome. This tome seems to be about as significant.
Oh, this whole room's getting a run through.
Yeah. This.
It's gonna keep running a train on these
This
books.
book is not comprehensive. Actually, insofar as like each individual god in history, as much as it seems to be a compendium of deities. And
All info helps.
yeah. Great. Zero, what are you doing with your downtime?
I did say that Zero was going to be praying to the Raven Queen,
Okay.
but I also forgot that I still need to identify those 2 coins.
Okay. Would you like to identify those 2 coins?
I would like to.
Okay. Roll me a history check
Histories.
with advantage.
Okay, with advantage is nat 20, so 25.
They're funerary coins. And you think that they were for the king should he perish, so that his soul could be ferried.
Okay. So they should have remained with the king, right?
You're not far off. Or you're all the way off. You'll never know. They should have been put on the king if he were to have died in a battle. Unfortunately, everyone else died, and there was no one to let them out of the thing, so they all just sort of withered inside of
Okay.
Crit. For the vault. I think.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
since there was all that banging going on in Naracine's room, Zero would have to go incorporeal, go in the room and ask if she's okay. Does she need any help? Is she trapped anywhere?
Fuck.
Let's.
I'm kidding.
No, come on, please, pretty please for me. Do it for Daddy.
Oh boy.
Come on, that's too good to say no to. Are you kidding me?
The whole place is gonna get shot up.
Look, hey, it happens. All right.
No, Zero's too busy.
I like the image of the teenage boy putting the porno mags away. Oh, fuck.
Because she's getting caught in a totally different, like, just messy hair.
I know, that's why I
glitters,
love it. I can't. I'm like, yes.
And it's just him there, the one guy that she's been like, she's now starting to literally.
How
has a
perfect is that, though? I mean, like, seriously, for you to have put up 32 locks around every part of the door, and then for Zero's head to just sort of peek through. What you doing in here?
Darkness. Like, fuck. But it would just be like a mousy squeak, and then just. Whoo.
I don't know, it is up to you. It's up to you and your characters what happens next.
Maybe next time.
What do you say? What do you think about when you pray?
Zero is still feeling so lost without her guidance, and he's used to that constant feeling of her presence around them, and this is not that at all. This is completely cut off. And then there's the feelings of caring for Narasine and thinking that they're a great person and asset and good for the team and a great spellcaster, and then the hatred for Vecna and like the fight that's still within Zero. The reason why Zero didn't actually take the kill on that one when she was down. Like how could she choose that? That's like a prey to the Raven Queen. How could she choose to go that direction?
Mm-hmm.
How could I guide her away from that maybe? Or do I have to kill her because she has damned her soul with this? The confusion of mortals and being around them for so long, and how they choose these different paths and have these different feelings and get so it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm gonna. I want to sort of give a visual, if I may, of you sort of taking these two coins and just sort of rubbing them over one another in one hand, and holding Raven's feather in the other, as you pace around that room. Roll me a religion check, please.
I think it's amazing that we're so at odds, but at the same time, we're both in totally different rooms doing totally different things, but both holding a Raven Queen feather and going, what the fuck is going on?
I like it. 19.
You feel that feather as if a breeze is blowing over it. It hums in your hand, and you can see the edge of it begin to sort of trail against that wind, causing it to move a little bit more. And as you feel that, you hear a voice and a cawing, and the almost a you look to your left, you expect to see a hand resting on your shoulder, and you hear just and through it you hear another voice say, "One enemy at a time." Noller.
Well, as the ship is more or less going in the right direction, I took a second to step out of the helm, look to the horizon, and then suddenly walk down to the lower places to first two things. Check if any of the holes can be, or if there's anything that can be fixed for the moment, or check on the latest edition that was probably the most injured. Well, not the most injured out of all of us, but to check if Adele is okay.
Yeah, I think that let's start with an Arcana check, please.
14.
As you look at the ship, the damage to it is all but fixed. Yeah. As you look in, you see bits of splintered wood inside of the ship, in the bow. And as you look down, we see broken flecks of wood. And you look over and run your hand against the boat, and it's you can feel the wood grain texture, but it's unbroken. And as you look at it, you hear that thrumming in your head again. And
Can I recognize by now if it is a good or a bad thrumming?
it is a I would say peaceful thrumming. Like a distant foghorn.
Didn't know you could do this.
Yeah, as you realize that this ship has at least some self-mending capabilities, I think we see you making your way back to the lower deck where the quarters are. And as you look down that corridor, you can see that all the doors are closed. Everyone's in their room, gone their separate ways. And I think you know Adele well enough that you would just be disturbing them after all of that. And
Probably
I'd like to offer you something if you're okay with rolling with that.
not like I have much else to do.
I think we see you make your way back to the top deck, looking up at the helm, working its way little by little, adjusting course, and stride through into the captain's quarters. As you look down, you can see the faint cartography marks that span the map that you've seemingly only begun. Now, with different pages provided by Joanne. And you see your course laid out quite literally before you. And as you do, you hear a different thrumming. You hear. And as you look over, you see that Dow halberd propped against the wall, and it is ringing with enthusiasm. And as you look at it, you see the dragon that curls up its haft begins to gleam until you see a reflection of amber in its jeweled eye. And that is where I'll leave you tonight. But wait. But wait,
Oh.
there's more. You are all going to get a long rest, and you're going to level up.
Whoa! Whoa!
We're
What?
gonna level up
And
It's like our birthday.
and
season 2, and we just leveled up for the first time. I'm so proud of us.
and Narasine, are you proficient in religion?
I believe, yeah, I'm actually expertise, but I'm dumb, so it's a 7.
How?
Thank you.
Okay. Then that's.
Oh yeah, I remember that was an issue in the past. So in her new build, I made sure that she had a better connection on the cell phone this time.
Yeah. What?
Because that was an issue.
So you have advantage of it. It's still +7.
Uh-huh.
What's your proficiency bonus with that?
I just have a +7 proficiency bonus.
It's plus.
My proficiency is 4.
Oh, it's +7.
Yeah, +7. Yes.
Oh, it's +7. Okay. What's that stat? Hang on there, scene. Is it intelligence?
Yes. And it's that low because I have a -1 intelligence.
How about this? Increase your intelligence to 10, please. Yeah. Sveti.
Yeah. Yes, Daddy.
Increase your increase your intelligence by 1 as well to 14. And I want to give you a little something else here.
Ooh. Was I an extra good girl? I get more presents.
All of you are being very good. Your fanged bite is going to be 2d4 plus 3 while you are in your hybrid form or rage.
Wait. Okay, wait. What was that damage?
So add 1d4 to your fanged bite.
Ooh, 2d4 fanged bite.
Okay, when raging or hybrid form.
And that will also count towards your regained hit points. Adele.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell everyone what I'm going to give you. I'll send you a message. 0.
Wow.
Let's take a look at 0. It's good. Investigation is good. What would give 0? I mean, first make sure you put your 8th level spell scroll, so we don't forget that.
Yep, it's in the inventory.
Very good. Would you like a bonus to your intelligence too, or what would you like, 0? I'm curious what would feel like a boon to you.
Oh. I mean, all of my stats are even, so
right.
That wouldn't really bonus anything.
I mean, unless I did a bonus to intelligence, I don't see anything there that's necessarily going to give you what you need.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can think about it. We can chat it out. We'll figure something out, I'm sure.
Okay.
Noller. I want to. I want to give you a couple of things. Excellent. I'm going to add to your inventory, which technically should have been there for a while, a halberd of warning. And
Okay.
And bracers of defense. I'm already adding them. And essentially, those are at your leisure implements that you can use. Those are going to be the halberd and the bracers that came from your temple. They were actually left behind by the captain.
I remember them.
And
I mean, the halberd is the one that cut on my arm.
right. It is the very same blade. And additionally, I want to do a couple of things here. Increase your strength by 1. We'll just bring that up even to a nice 12. And you got navigator tools, good. What else? What else for? I gotta fix that for your weapons. That halberd is going to work. I'll get you proficiency for that, and can be used as a casting implement for your sorceress items, as well as a. That's not what I wanted. Okay. As well as a bonus action attack, because you can spin it if you feel like using it.
Okay.
Cool. I don't know what you get at level 13, but I hope it's good. Because I'm gonna look forward to hearing what y'all doing next week after you've had a long rest and traveled through the skies of Ravenloft. So, unfortunately, I must bid you adieu, au revoir, and remind you as always to be good, take care of yourselves, and if you can't be good, don't get caught.
Don't get caught.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
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 Bye.